there in YouTube land? Rival here. Thanks for stopping by. As you can see, we've got a review on the turntable for you this week, so we'll dive right in. This is the brand new 2017 Zero Tolerance 0460. This is another design by Dmitry Sinkovich, an excellent designer. You've seen several things by him in the ZT lineup. Best of which I think is the 454. Amazing knife. This is actually a distant cousin to this. So that's actually what we're going to be diving into. The 460 is the next step, next evolution of what ZT has been making for a while now, a smash hit maybe 2 years ago when it was released, the ZT 0450. We'll compare them a little bit more in a second. This is obviously more of a Persian design. You've got a very distinctive blade shape. You've got the swoop, and then you've got a curve at the back. You know, almost a S shape when you look at the line through the knife as a whole. And then, you know, on top of that, the chamfering and the design elements offer some amazing lines as well. The plunge that follows the edge. You've got this chamfering that's also, when you really look close, like fluted, like 3D milled. That carries over on the back, and it is a titanium frame lock. You've got an aluminum backspacer, black coated, ribbed for your pleasure. Like I said, a full flat grind and a 3 1/4 inch blade. Overall is what, like 7.5 inches. I'll put all the specs below here in a bit. It is a flipper, obviously, and then it does have KVT caged bearings. Something new this year that ZT has been doing is this colored carbon fiber. You can see there's a weave of what looks like a bronze or I guess kind of a dull orange, but to me it's more of a bronze or amber. A very cool color. And then they also released, and I just did a video on this guy, where you can see the blue in that carbon fiber. So something very, very awesome that they are messing around with. And it is all the way through. It's not just a top layer. You know, when you look closely at the fluting, you can see the color peeking through in the pattern there as well. So it really gives it an amazing look overall. I can tell you guys what, as soon as this video is... Woo! Hello! Built like a tank, all good. Sorry about that. As soon as this video is over, I'm going to be busting out the anodizer, and I'm going to be bronzing this back scale. I'll probably bronze it and then give it a heavy wash and then do like a lighter coat of bronze so that you got like this multi-layer color thing going on. We'll see. But that carbon fiber top scale, combined with the fact that it is extremely thin in its profile, make it a very pocketable knife. On top of all that, it's like 2.8 ounces. So let me check here. 2.25 ounces on my scale. Amazing. Very pocketable. Not just in your standard, you know, your jeans, but this is also going to be something you can wear in slacks. It'll melt away, as well as something that you could wear in, shoot, you could put them in basketball shorts. I carry this in basketball shorts all the time. Melts away. So an amazing knife overall. Now, you know, I know initially when it came out, you know, some people are going to love the Persian style, the look overall. Some people are not. Sinkovich definitely has a distinctive style. Some people love it. Some people hate it. That's completely up to you. With that style comes the Ergonomics. Personally, I think it feels pretty good in the hand. I will, however, say that I had to adjust my grip a little bit to get it to kind of feel that way, to melt that way. And as a matter of fact, I had that same exact problem with this knife when it first came out. Actually, when this knife first came out, I bought it, I sold it. I didn't think about it for 6 months, 8 months. And then I got a second one in on trade, and I carried it a couple of times because I needed something that would fit in shorts, and at the time I was always carrying bricks. And the fact that it was easily pocketable, combined with my adjustment to the grip, I was always squeezing my hand together like any other knife and creating a hot spot on my pinky. When I open up my grip a little bit, put the pinky on the back part, melts away in your hand. I find the same is true for this. Because you've got this hump right here, if I open up my grip a little bit and I wear a size medium glove, and I put my pinky and allow it to wrap around the back, these 3 fingers can still melt away, and it's a very comfortable grip. And it really points the blade forward. That what it does is it forces you to palm it here, put your hand here, and now you have this slightly curved cutting edge. Amazing slicer, amazing piercing. And there's the illusion of a top wedge, but there is not. It's just lightly, ever so lightly chamfered on the top. I don't know if I can zoom in that close. So it gives the blade a nice, almost rounded feel. But man, is this a wicked slicer. So I guess I've had it out a couple times. We'll just do a full-on comparison for a second. Both 3 1/4 inch blades, but because you've got the slight curve to this, you actually get a hair more cutting edge with this. And I had said, I had a couple of gripes with this when it first came out. The other gripe that I have with this knife, and even to this day, it's the grind makes for a short bevel here. And it's not as slicey as it could be. It's still a great knife. It's still a great slicer. I EDC this thing all the freaking time. But this, with that higher flat grind on that same slim profile, hello, there you go. So much more slicey. It feels slicier in the hand. But in use, much more slicier. You can cut an apple with this and not worry about splitting it, for those of you guys who like those type of tests. So very nice. I look forward to continuing to carry this on a regular basis. I've only had it for about 2 days. And to be honest, I've only carried it one of those 2 days because the other day I was carrying this thing because I'm in love with this thing. But as summer comes upon us, knives like this aren't going to fit in some of the lighter shorts, like I said, basketball shorts or things like that especially. These kind of knives are where it's at. And the other thing that I like about this knife is it is an open palette for customizing. Because it's just got that plain stonewash lock side. So any color, we could do splatter patterns, we could grind on it, we could oxidize it, we could do all kinds of stuff. Now, I do like this new clip that they also put on here too. I like the profile of it. I like where it sits on the knife. It's not obtrusive at all. For a long time I was into the fold over clips. I'm kind of coming back to these slimmer clips. There's been talk on the forums about the branding. You know, you've got all your blade and serial number information on this side. You've got your ZT logo on this side, and then you got to put it on the pocket clip too. Yeah, everybody puts their logo on the pocket clip, guys, and it's not just to remind you of what you're carrying, but it's so somebody else will say, "Hey, what kind of knife is that?" Oh, it's a ZT, because they can see it on the pocket clip. That's why they do that stuff. Now, if that's something that really pisses you guys off, or you guys you don't like all that branding on the clips, then reach out to someone like me and do something like this. This is a carbon fiber clip that I made for my 450. Very easy to do, very simple to do. They don't cost a lot depending on materials. Hit me up, we can figure something out. But again, as soon as I'm done with this, in addition to anodizing it, I'm going to do a carbon fiber clip. And to be honest, I like this shape. So I'm probably going to mirror this shape in carbon fiber. And that'll serve to lighten it up ever so slightly. And then, yeah, the carbon fiber will carry over. We'll put some color on the back of this thing. It's going to be freaking badass. Badass, you guys. Might even acid etch the knife. These 400 series, the 450 series, the 452, they're so openly customizable. Like my ZDP version, total blinged out. Love it. So much you can do with it, including putting a Timascus clip on it. Fantastic. So these are going to be great little knives, whether you like them straight from the factory or whether you want to trick the shit out of them, whatever you want to do. And through the magic of editing, you didn't even know it, but I went out, I pimped the knife, I came back, started back up again, and just like I said, we've got a carbon fiber clip. I had mentioned I like the overall profile of that clip, the original clip. I apologize for the light in this thing today. Every time I move, it's like brighter, lower, brighter, lower. But I said I like the overall profile of that clip, so I selected some F50 carbon fiber. Now, interestingly enough, it's not colored carbon fiber, but you can see an amber tint to it. And that's because the top coat of this particular stuff has an amberish hue to it. When you sand through that top layer, it's just your standard flat black woven carbon fiber. But if you preserve that top layer and give it a light polish like I did, you get this amber kind of color. And I went with a rose goldish, kind of rose goldish color on the back to go as close as I could with the color that it's exhibiting on the front. So this doesn't exactly match this, but it's pretty gosh darn close, and I think it's pretty goddamn cool. I had mentioned I might go ahead and acid wash the blade. I didn't. I like it. You know, I'm not always big on having satin on the knives because I use my knives, and I don't like it getting scratched up or smudgy or anything like that, but this knife is badass. And that grind, something about that grind, man. So sexy. You know, I've been asked a couple of times recently about these carbon fiber clips. I've made about, I don't know, 20, somewhere in the 20s. I've not had one come back yet broken. Now, if you're the kind of guy that, you know, carries a knife for 6-8 months, and you go through 2 clips in those 6-8 months because you're catching this on your, shoot, I don't know, on your car, you're scratching things up, you're catching it on walls or shit when you're walking by it and it's bending that clip out and it's tweaking it or torquing it. First off, pay more attention to your surroundings, man. But secondly, it's carbon fiber. It's not titanium, it's not steel. So if you can tweak a steel clip, or if you're one of those guys that tweaks those titanium clips, if you did the same thing to a carbon fiber clip, I expect for the most part it would shear or crack or there would be some damage to it. So, you know, they're not miracle clips, but at the same time, they've got good, strong retention. They're solid, they're rigid but flexible. I know that's kind of an oxymoron, but I mean the stiffness of the layers combined with the fact that it is in that cured resin it allows it to maintain the rigidity through the layers of the carbon fiber while giving it flexibility still without breaking through the epoxy that binds it all together. So, you know, as long as you pay close attention to, and I've learned through trial and error what's too thin, what's too thick, as long as you pay attention to leaving several layers on the top half, as well as not going too thin in this space right here between where the clip cutout starts and then where you're kind of coming down for aesthetics, you're in really good shape. So, like I said, I've done enough of these where they clip very, very well. So, you know, people are interested in stuff like that, shoot me an email, hit me up. Probably going to be making a small batch of these because I know this knife's popular. I know people had already, between the time that the knife first came out when I made the first half of this video and the time I'm making this part of the video, a little complaints about the branding and stuff on the clip. I don't know, what are you going to say? What are you going to do? But you put on a custom clip like this, you're good to go. So there it is. That's the pimp job, as well as the overview / semi-review on the ZT-0460, modeled after the Dmitry Sinkovich Polichotky Jr. That's all we got on the turntable this time around. Thanks for stopping by. Like, subscribe. Peace.